So I just saw The Materialist, that movie, and I was so excited about it. Pedro Pascal is in it, and I love him. And Dakota Johnson was in it, and she's great. So I'm like, let's go. And it's about a matchmaker helping people find love. I'm like, that's a vibe. Now, listen, as a love and dating coach, I have worked with many women that have come into my world and men actually who are like, oh, I've worked with a matchmaker and it failed miserably. Okay. So this is not to say, oh, all matchmakers suck, but like all of the clients that I have worked with that have experience with matchmaker, they weren't happy with it. Okay. But I am open to it because I'm all about tools. I'm all about like, okay, we have the apps, we have matchmakers, like these are different things, right? So I went into this movie excited to do this and watch it for you guys and say, oh my God, go watch it. But no, I'm going to tell you this right now. I was so disappointed with this movie. I was like just shocked. And like I watched it with Will, like my husband, and he's like, babe, what the heck did we just do? It got great reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, so I thought it was gonna be great. And let me tell you exactly why. Like, this is part of the problem. Like, this is the dating culture bullshit noise that, like, you are hearing that is not helping you find your person. Okay, so, like, let's get really specific on the biggest takeaway, okay? The biggest takeaway. Like, they talk about checking off your boxes. Like, you have a list and there are boxes to be checked off. The problem is not the list. Problem is not that you have boxes. It's what you are writing down and wanting in a partner. That's the problem. And the movie makes it sound and like really encourages you to toss out your list and not to have boxes. That's basically the message of this movie. And I could not disagree more. I would never have found my husband if it wasn't for the list that I wrote with clear boxes and are we aligned or not. The problem that you guys are probably experiencing, okay, for those of you who have a list, and if you've never written a list, this is part of what I'm about, okay? Follow me, the Jackie Lore. I'm always telling and subscribe to this channel and to this podcast because I'm all about helping you find crazy love or nothing. And it doesn't just happen. I found my person. I keep helping women find their person, and it's through a method. And part of that method is writing a list that has boxes. But like in the movie The Materialist, you see these women and men, hiring this matchmaker, and they're saying things that are non-negotiable. And that's the problem. Their non-negotiables are height. They have to be 6 feet and all of this. And that's bullshit. Now listen, my husband is 6'3". But that was not on my list. My dad is short. Like, I don't know, he's like 5'6". Like, I'm 5'3". Like, to me, I'm Latina. Like, I don't know. I'm used to a lot of short people. I never cared about height. I never did. Now, like a whole bunch of women that I work with are always saying height. It's always a thing. It's their filter. And I challenge them and I'm like, hell no. This is where in the movie, the matchmaker is making it a point to meet these non-negotiables. But as a love and dating coach, I talk to my clients and I'm like, what the hell is going on with your list? Like that shouldn't even be on your list. There's something so much more important than that, which I did appreciate the Materialist, the movie talking about this connection and love and, showing that vulnerability. I love that part of it, but the part that I completely disagree with, okay? And, I'm going to say this, and if you haven't seen the movie, maybe it's a spoiler alert, whatever, but it doesn't even matter. I don't think you should even watch it. I think you should watch it because it's I really felt like I just wasted my life. Like I was annoyed about, oh my gosh, no wonder, like there's so many people struggling to find love. And then you watch this movie that everyone's raving about and it's the same bullshit message because at the end, she doesn't choose the guy that's like this rich guy. Pedro Pascal is the rich guy. She doesn't choose him. Even though he's such a nice guy and he's successful, He had his own insecurities, and he even had a surgery to, increase his height by 6 inches. And I love that part of the story because he like even squatted down to show like how short he would have been without before his surgery. And like he's like, no one would pay attention to me because I was so short. And this girl, she was trying to tell him, you're perfect just the way you are, but he didn't believe it. And he's like, no, like that's not the world we live in. If you're tall, you get attention. And I agree, like that's one of the things that I loved about that part of the movie is like, yeah, I cannot stand when you are so insisting it has to be this height. You are wrong to think that, truly. So if that's your takeaway from the movie, do that, at least that, right? But then when you thought that the movie was actually heading to a good place, it doesn't, because she ends up picking the loser ex-boyfriend. And this is where I'm like, what are we doing? Like on your list, part of the boxes is financial goals. If you want a family, like you want stability, you don't want to be like she had already dated him for like 5 years. It was a mess. They fought about money. You see glimpses of that. They broke up. And then she goes back with him because, oh, I've always, we love each other, blah, blah, blah. But he said, I can't promise you anything. Like, he's a struggling actor and, he doesn't have any money and whatever. And she's like, it's okay. I can take care of myself, whatever. And I felt that the message that the materialist was giving was settle. Like, that's how I felt. And to throw away your list and just the first person that can love you, take it. I so disagree with that. Like deeply, like deeply disagree. I was like upset. I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now? You can have it all, but let's just make sure what's all, right? Do not put fucking 6 feet tall because that's stupid bullshit. Like that's physical crap that does not matter. What matters is, are you aligned with your future goals? Like if you want to travel the world, you're like you're doing great in your career, you're making money, you want to buy a house perhaps, or you want to travel, you want to have that freedom. But if you date a guy that's struggling, is a loser, he's been trying to be someone for the past 10 years, do not wait around for that guy. Like I am totally against the build a man workshop. And why? Because I've done it. I've done it for years before I met my husband. I was like, I'm done trying to help men get to wherever they want to get to. I have worked really hard on myself. I'm at this level. Let me make space to receive someone at that same level so we can freaking kill it together. Like, let's do life together. But I don't want to freaking be trying to help you become whoever the fuck you want to become. Because at the end of the day, they will not change. And so like the story, the materialist is trying to be like, oh my God, it's so romantic. They love each other. I'm like, no, it's not romantic. And why are these our only choices? Like why, if she didn't feel this love and connection with Pedro Pascal, like Harry was his name and whatever, that's fine. She can say bye-bye to him if she doesn't feel it with him. Which, she has her own issues, by the way. Like when you see the movie, if you do see it, like when she's talking to him, it's so cold. It's so guarded. There's no heart on her sleeve. It's very like interview, business-like. She was very adamant, like we shouldn't date. But like she has her own issues of worth and feeling like she has value. And that's the work that we have to do. Like that's the work you have to do and make sure, okay, if you're watching the movie and you're like, oh shit, I feel that way. Well, you have to do that inner work to feel worthy and valuable just as you are, right? So that's like one aspect of it that I like that they brought that up. Yeah, but then the way that she handles the conversations, I hope you never do. Like truly, never sit down on a date or with a guy and just be so mechanical and fucking like business. And I really am all about emotional connection, and that requires vulnerability. And I think because she was so in her own head, like feeling like she's not good enough, she just didn't share all who she is. And I feel like there's such beauty when you do let people know your insecurities and give them the opportunity to show up for you and still love you just the way you are. Because at the end of the day, like if you guys are still aligned with your goals and your values, having insecurities is totally normal. But like it's such a beautiful part of that connection, to form that emotional connection, is to be real with someone and tell them what you're really dealing with and scared of, or whatever it is. But she didn't. I feel like she was threatened, or she was just intimidated probably by, he was so successful, and she's just like, I'm not good enough for you. And that's where she went wrong. So then she went, instead of like by not connecting with him and then saying bye-bye and going on with her life, she went backwards to her ex-boyfriend, who was still, guess what, a loser. Like my husband was like, come on, Chris Evans. Like he's like Captain America. I'm like, let's go, like get it together. And like, whatever, he just wasn't it. But they end up picking each other, and I did not think it was cute. Like, I didn't think it was romantic. I felt like this is the worst message. Oh my God, settle. Yeah, go out with a guy that is going to be broke. Ew. I'm like, why are we not leaning into abundance? I love the idea that you can have it all. And if you're a badass, ambitious woman killing it in your life, do not choose a fucking loser that is never amounting to whatever he talks about and dreams about. You can have the guy that you're attracted to, he has chemistry, but just take the fucking height off the boxes, right? I think that's the biggest takeaway. If you're going to watch the movie, that's the biggest takeaway. But I hope that you don't think you have to settle, okay? Let me know. Did you watch the movie? Tell me if you're listening on YouTube. Reach out to me on the Jackie Lauren Instagram, and I'm just here for you. I'm on a mission to help you find crazy love, because it has to be crazy love or nothing. Until next time, thank you.